Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Mahvash Mohtadullah and I'm a writer. I wasn't always a writer. In fact, I've been a banker for a while, living out the Indian subcontinental dream of most parents of either becoming a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer, or then a banker. I began writing during the pandemic, in fact. I wrote my first piece during the first ever COVID lockdown, and I haven't looked back since. I'm now the author of 7 books, 2 books of short stories, 4 books in a children's series, and a book of poetry. But the books that are closest to my heart are my collections of short stories. They're mostly about the women of the larger subcontinent, so basically Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and even Sri Lanka. It's also about some men, women and men who are challenging oppressive norms that is so much a part of our patriarchal systems. And in these stories, they take us on personal journeys which, while fraught with stigma and condemnation, are also liberally underscored with hope, courage, and grace. My first collection of short stories, The Girl with the Paisley Dupatta, is more raw and unbound and covers subject matter that is either whispered about or not talked of at all. The second one, which is One Flew Over the Bulbul's Nest, is quieter and more reflective and has liberal warm waves of humor running through its spine also. I write mainly about women because I think I realized quite a few years ago that I'm an empath, and I was able to read the vibes and situations quite quickly. And it was this sensibility that made me aware of the deeply ingrained imbalance between the genders in our part of the world, whether it was at the workplace or in everyday life. We in the greater Indian subcontinent are products of a conventional patriarchy, and that still plays out in questionable ways in our day-to-day lives. And as the world has become smaller, and especially as women from our parts of the world have realized the potential that they bring to the table, so to speak, there has been a rumbling and a shaking of that patriarchy. And in my stories, I'm trying in some way to make that crack even a little bigger, to let girls and women know that it is not okay anymore to constantly be afraid for one's physical, mental, and emotional safety and well-being. It is not okay to sacrifice one's dreams for a brother, a father, or a husband, or for archaic traditions. And it is perfectly okay to be whatever you think is the best version of yourself. So basically, the objective of my storytelling is to uplift and encourage the cause of the women in our part of the world, and also of the men that support them. I have also written 4 books in a children's series called Curious Animals and Quirky Creatures, and it is about oddball little animals that one doesn't really hear about generally, and their little brushes with life, showing humor, courage, and joy. I also have a book of poetry called Shimmering Scraps of Poetry and Madness, and as the title suggests, it includes everything from the sublime to the ridiculous. My books are available across most bookstores in Pakistan, Liberty Books, Paramount Books, and London Book Company in Islamabad, as well as across bookstores in Sri Lanka. My newest anthology of short stories, which is One Flew Over the Bulbul's Nest, is available on Amazon also. I hope you enjoy what you hear. I hope you enjoy what you hear.